And really, it's that combination of the skill set of the team, the knowledge and the network in West Africa. And then the other thing I'd say is that we've used that balance sheet we had of 40 million. We haven't come back to the equity market for more equity. And as we look forward to further acquisitions, but with the strong balance sheet, we actually think we can go and actually acquire more assets going forward without the need for further equity.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Afentra CEO Paul McDade. Paul, very good to meet you. For viewers not familiar with the company, tell us more about Afentra and what you do.
So we set up Afentra about 3.5 years ago in the middle of 2021. And Afentra stands for African Energy Transition, and we're a company focused on acquiring production and development assets in West Africa.
Tell us a little bit more also about your leadership team and experience and how that gives you a competitive advantage in Africa.
Yeah, so the team at Afentra, obviously including myself, have pretty deep experience. Personally, I spent the last 20 years working across sub-Saharan Africa in the oil and gas space. So really, and that combined with the rest of the team who have similar levels of experience in Africa, I think what it does is it gives us a very strong industry and kind of regulatory, national oil company, ministerial network within the region. And that combined with our technical and commercial experience is really, what's the kind of compelling story around Afentra and gives us that advantage as we go out there to acquire assets and develop those assets.
Well, one of the latest assets is CON-15. So you announced this week that you're awarded the CON-15 onshore license in Angola. Talk us through your portfolio and how that's going to complement it.
Yeah, so the initial assets we acquired were blocks offshore, Block 305 and 5A. They're producing assets. We acquired them. We're the second largest partner, working with Sonangol, the national oil company there. Those assets, we've been involved now for about 2 years. And we've managed to increase production. That's really what we're there for, is increasing the production. We're up about 30% to just over 20,000 barrels a day gross. That's about 7,000 for us. And we're looking to maybe even double that, up to 12, 13,000 barrels a day. Highly generative from a cash flow point of view. So that's really the core of the company. That's the deals we did. We completed those deals last year. But we're obviously, we have a strong brand and position within Angola, and we've been building out, and one of the areas we've been building out is that license you mentioned, CON-15. So we've signed up 2 licenses now on the onshore Kwanza Basin, an area which is really quite underexploited, both from a development and an exploration point of view. So, the announcement this week was that second license, CON-15, adjacent to CON-19. And we're busy looking at other opportunities within the Kwanza onshore and also offshore Angola as well.
You talked about highly productive or highly cash generative production assets, Paul. You were out with your 2024 trading update last month. You ended December with close to $55 million in cash. So a good cash runway going forward. And I suppose shows just how those strategic acquisitions have paid off for you.
Yeah, so the acquisitions have been kind of quite spectacular. We acquired these assets for net at completion of around about, just less than $10 million. Those assets last year, net to us, delivered about $87 million of free cash flow. So pretty spectacular numbers given what we acquired for the asset for. What obviously that's done is meant that our balance sheet is back in very good strength. We started the company 3 years ago with a $40 million balance sheet. We closed last year with $55 million of cash on the balance sheet, despite having bought these assets, and a net cash position of about $13 million. So I think, as we look forward, we obviously have those assets, significant production and reserves, and cash flow. We're doing other organic things. We talked about the Kwanza onshore 1590. We're doing some other organic business development ideas offshore. But the strong balance sheet puts us in a great position to go out and look at further M&A and kind of asset acquisitions across West Africa.
Well, as you look forward, what does your 2025 work program look like, Paul?
So really, 2025, we're focused on the Block 305 and 5A, building production there. The work we're doing at the moment doesn't involve rigs, but we've had really strong reserve replacement. We just reported that. We expect more of the same this year. And we're preparing to bring a rig in 2026, where we'll see production build from its current levels up towards 30 and 40,000 barrels a day. So this year is really a kind of foundation year for setting that work program, getting ready for the rig to arrive in 2026. Onshore in the Kwanza, we're doing the preliminary work on Con 15 and 19 to really understand those assets and see what potential those assets have. And then obviously we are always looking at acquisition opportunities. So the business development team are out there looking and quite active at the moment on looking at other deals in Angola, but elsewhere in West Africa as well.
Paul, give us the investment case for Afentra.
Look, we've come in, we've created significant shareholder value already in our first 3 years. We've done that by really smart deal making, very strong technical team that understand the right assets to acquire. But more importantly, on top of that, we have the skills and the knowledge of how to work in West Africa and complete those deals. And really, it's that combination of the skill set of the team, the knowledge and the network in West Africa. And then the other thing I'd say is that we've used that balance sheet we had of 40 million. We haven't come back to the equity market for more equity. And as we look forward to further acquisitions, with the strong balance sheet, we actually think we can go and actually acquire more assets going forward without the need for further equity.
Paul, I hope you'd keep us updated on progress with that. Thank you very much for the introduction today.
Thanks very much.
That's Afentra CEO Paul McDade.